Hello guys, the Maniac Zach here, and welcome to part 1 of my E3 prediction series. Today I wanted to predict what Nintendo will show off and or announce at E3 2017. Since Nintendo themselves said it was going to be a massive E3, I'm going to divide all this speculation stuff into 3 categories. The first category is stuff that is confirmed to happen or very likely to happen. The second one is stuff that is still possible to happen, but not yet confirmed or may not show up. And finally, the last category, things that may not happen at all, but still have a slight chance. But I'm just throwing it out there because it's still likely. Alright, so the first thing that Nintendo themselves confirmed at E3 2017 was, in fact, Splatoon 2, as you can see by this shirt. Now, I'm not surprised by this, because Splatoon was one of the biggest games on the Wii U, and was one of the most successful IPs that Nintendo themselves had in a long time. And since Splatoon 2 comes out in July, which is a month after E3, it makes sense to do some coverage on it before the game is released. Now, we do know that Splatoon 2 is going to be announced at E3, but we don't know much else about it. So, here are some things I think Nintendo's going to show off from the Splatoon 2 at E3 2017. 1. Multiplayer modes. Now, I'm not really sure if they're going to show off Turf War because it's the main mode of the game. We've already seen it in the first Splatoon and in the test fire. They might show off a little bit, but it's probably going to happen. We're also probably going to see some info about the Salmon Run mode from the latest Nintendo Direct, since all we saw was some sort of gameplay / cinematic hybrid, and we didn't see some actual gameplay of it. And we're probably going to get new modes that haven't been announced yet, as well as previous modes from the previous Splatoon that we could see again, like Rainmaker. 2. Weapons. We're probably going to see some new weapon types that we haven't seen yet, and we're probably going to see some more info about the Splat Dualies as well as its variants, and we might see some previous returning types from the last Splatoon game. Maybe we might see the Tri-Slosher or the Ink Brush. 3. Story campaign. Now, the original Splatoon had a great campaign, but it was a little on the short side, and it was a little shallow at some moments. So they're probably going to show off the Splatoon 2 campaign, and hopefully it's just as fun, if not more, and a little longer, like around, I don't know, 7 to 9 hours as opposed to 3 to 5 in the first game. I hope Nintendo makes it so you don't have to know about the first Splatoon's campaign in order to play the second one. And just to throw it out there, I think Nintendo's going to pull off a Halo 2, where you can play as the Octolings in the story campaign and in the online modes. Imagine how awesome that would be. It would add some needed variety to the game and how you play, and a lot of the fans from the original Splatoon wanted playable Octolings, so this would be a nice addition. And the third thing Nintendo themselves confirmed to be at E3 this year is in fact Super Mario Odyssey. I'm not surprised by this because Mario is the freaking mascot of the company, and the Super Mario Odyssey trailer from that presentation has over 20 million plus views, so you can definitely tell people are excited for the game. But again, we don't really know much about the game going into E3, besides the fact that we're going to see it in some capacity. So once again, here's what I think Nintendo will show off from Super Mario Odyssey at E3. 1. We're probably going to get some info about that cap we've seen from the trailer. You know the one I'm talking about, the one with eyes. Nintendo themselves said it has a bigger role than you think. Maybe it will be like Luma in the Galaxy games, where if you have it, you have a special move or something. I don't know. 2. The story. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar to every other Mario game that we've seen since 1985, where Princess Peach is kidnapped from Bowser, especially since that's what we've seen from the trailer so far. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo pulls off a Super Mario 3D World, where that happens, yes, but the plot is slightly different and more interesting than normal. But we'll probably have to wait and see what Nintendo will show off, so there's that. 3. Power-ups. Now, I'm curious to see if Nintendo will pull off Mario 64, where all the power-ups are the caps themselves in the Crazy Cap store, or if it will be a combination of what we're used to seeing as well as these new caps. Like if we'll see power-ups like the Fire Flower and Invincibility Star, and some other caps to give some special buffs. 4. Maybe online functionality in DLC? I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see both, but we gotta see one or the other. Because, come on, it's 2017. Mario is one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and Breath of the Wild got 2 DLC packs in 2017. If we don't see DLC nor online functionality in Mario Odyssey, what were you thinking, Nintendo? 5. The levels. Now, we're probably going to get a detailed look at each of the levels from the presentation, as well as some of the new levels we haven't seen yet. And we'll also probably know how you travel through them, if it's through paintings like in Mario 64 and Sunshine, or if it's through the ship like in Galaxy 1 and 2 and from the trailer. Lastly, the new IPs. Now, Reggie himself stated that we're going to see some new IPs coming in the future that will be shown off at E3. The quote to this will be linked in the description. Now, he didn't specifically say if the new IPs will be on the 3DS, the Switch, or both. I'm assuming the Switch, but we'll just have to see. Now, there's so many gaming genres out there, but Nintendo hasn't really dipped their toe in all of them, you know? So maybe we'll see some new IPs in these genres. So here are my predictions for what we could see for these new IPs. So first, we're probably going to get some sort of Mega Man-like game, because I don't think Capcom will release a brand new Mega Man game anytime soon. A multiplayer online battle arena, aka a MOBA like League of Legends. Maybe that will be the way Nintendo will show off their online plan for the Switch, who knows. A stealth game like Metal Gear Solid. And we could also probably see a rhythm game like Electroplankton or Rhythm Heaven Fever. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these new IPs are in genres that Nintendo has done before, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do a new racing game to replace F-Zero, or if they do a new adventure-type game similar to Metroid or Zelda. Who knows? Now, on to the second category. We're going to discuss things that are pretty likely to happen, but might not show up. Now, the first thing I am predicting in this category is a Smash Bros. 4 port for the Nintendo Switch. Now, ever since the reveal of the NX, or around that time period, we've been getting so many rumors about a Smash Bros. Port for the Nintendo Switch. And it makes sense, especially with the success of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And similar to that game, I honestly think it would be a combination of the features from Smash 3DS and Smash Wii U, as well as one new feature and a few new characters. Now, for this new feature, I think one of two things can happen. The first is we could probably see an overhauled Smash Run mode, like how in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that game revamped the original Mario Kart 8 battle mode. Now, what I mean by revamped / overhauled is we'll probably see like HD graphics, obviously, but we'll probably see online functionality since everyone's been wanting online functionality for Smash Run. We'll probably see like new stages for Smash Run. Maybe we'll have it so you could play for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, hell, even 5 hours if you wanted to. Now, the other possibility for this new mode / feature is a new story mode, similar to Brawl Subspace Emissary, but a little more bigger. Because I know Sakurai said in the beginning of Smash 4's development that there won't be a story mode because of people putting cutscenes online from Brawl. But Sakurai likes to throw a lot of surprises at us, and it would be cool to see it again, you know? Now, as for the characters, I think we're going to see a total of 5 characters in this port. 3 newcomers and 2 veterans. As for the newcomers, let me predict. We'll probably see Inkling Boy / Inkling Girl, King K. Rool, and Shovel Knight. These 3 characters were some of the most highly requested in the ballot, which was made, I think, last year. I honestly can't remember. But anyways, these characters would be great since Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl are from Splatoon, and Splatoon 2 is coming out this year. And as you can see by the shirt, it's one of Nintendo's biggest franchises right now. King K. Rool makes sense because we haven't seen him in any Donkey Kong games, but again, he was highly requested, and it might be a teaser for an upcoming Donkey Kong game, who knows. And Shovel Knight's a given, because, come on. He uses a lot of relics, and he uses his shovel up close and personal, similar to Link's playstyle. And as for the veterans, I think we're probably going to see Snake and Wolf, both from Brawl. Why? Because Smash 4 brought back a crap ton of characters from Melee, including Roy and Mewtwo. And Bring back Pichu or Young Link makes no sense, and besides that, there's no other characters from Melee to bring back, and Brawl still has a good amount of characters to bring back, and I know you guys are literally screaming and probably saying something in the comments. Zach, what about Ice Climbers? Yes, that could happen too, but I'm not predicting that because even if the Switch has more powerful hardware than the 3DS or the Wii U, the Ice Climbers are probably still going to be a pain in the ass to develop, and we're probably not going to see them ever again until a sequel. Stop asking for them. And even though this game would be revealed at E3, I honestly think it wouldn't be released until early to mid 2018. Now, the second thing that I still think will be possible that Nintendo will show off at E3 is their online plan. Now, it's being released later in the fall. Nintendo has hinted at it several times, especially in the presentation and on the Switch's official website, so it makes sense. So what could Nintendo show off for their online plan, you may ask? Let me predict. We're probably going to get info about the official release date of when it comes out, as well as the official price, the voice chat app, because Nintendo said that you have to do it through your phone. I don't know why, but we'll probably get info about the app and how it works, and Virtual Console. Now, this is the big one, the biggest part of the online plan. Nintendo themselves basically confirmed that it is happening because they said if you do the online plan, you can get one free NES or SNES game a month. Now, we're probably going to get more games for the Virtual Console like N64, 3DS, DS, Wii, Wii U maybe, and hopefully GameCube. It's about damn time. Not even gaming games on the Wii's Virtual Console. That makes sense. I get it. Not even gaming games on the Wii U's Virtual Console. Understandable. I wish we had them, but okay. Not having them on the Switch's Virtual Console. Big mistake. Almost every single one of the GameCube's greatest games are so expensive online, like Melee, Thousand Year Door, Mario Kart Double Dash, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. It's just, there's so many great titles. It's so hard to get them. It's such a pain in the butt, you know? And finally, Nintendo said that there's going to be some online features in these NES and SNES games, so we'll probably get info about how those work. And the final thing that is very possible to happen at this year's E3, but might not show up, is Metroid. Recent rumors have stated that there will be 2 Metroid games. And honestly, I don't think that's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is we'll see at least one Metroid game as a teaser at most. Why? Because it's a huge E3, and if Nintendo wants to focus more on their IPs, Switch, and all these other titles coming out in 2017 first, like Mario Odyssey, Splatoon, and ARMS, I think Nintendo would want to save talking about Metroid for a later date. But a teaser would be good to help show how big of an E3 it truly is. But no matter what, I think that we are going to see Metroid in some form at E3, whether if it gets a lot of coverage or if it's a teaser. And all of this makes sense, because the last main series Metroid title came out in 2010 with Other M. And while a lot of people liked it, most Metroid fans hated it. And that was 7 years ago. 7 years. So the last Metroid game that came out that almost everyone loved was 10 years ago. That's just insane. We're probably going to see it in some form, but I highly doubt it'll get more than a teaser. But we'll wait and see. Who knows? Now this is the final category of the video where I talk about things that are unlikely to happen but might get a small chance happening. Just a few random things I want to throw out there. Now, the second thing that I think is only going to happen but might still happen is a Pikmin 4 announcement. Now, a couple years ago, Miyamoto stated that Pikmin 4 was close to completion. This was in 2015. We haven't heard anything since. And no, I don't think it's Hey Pikmin, because if Miyamoto came up on stage or told us in the direct, this is in fact Pikmin 4. This is the game that I've been developing for a couple years. This would really upset fans like the Metroid fans who got upset when they saw Federation Force for the first time. And since this year's E3 is supposed to be massive, a Pikmin 4 announcement wouldn't be a smart move, since it would get overshadowed by Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, the new IPs, etc. Now, the last thing I'm going to predict in this video, the thing I think is the most unlikely to happen but still could, is the Mario and Rabbids RPG crossover. Like the other things I mentioned in this video so far, this has been rumored to happen all the way back ever since the reveal of the Nintendo Switch. And I honestly think this thing's gonna happen. Oh god. Why? Because I don't know if it's me, but for the past few years it seems like Nintendo has this tendency to throw us unexpected curveballs at us that almost no one wants until they get it. Sometimes it works out, like the Mario and Sonic games on the Wii, like the Olympic ones. Up until the Sochi one on the Wii U, it was a game that no one asked for, but it was still fun, you know? But other times, no one asks for it and no one likes it, like Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Now, if the Mario and Rabbids RPG does happen, which it probably won't, I hope it comes out for the 3DS, because oh my god, if it comes out for the Switch, it's gonna be a disaster, you know? And that's it for my Nintendo predictions. Now, just to keep in mind, these are only a selection of the games I think will show up at E3. Obviously, I didn't predict things like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Fire Emblem for the Switch, Pokemon Stars, etc. Now, if I predicted every single thing Nintendo could show off or has announced or all that stuff for E3, this video would be 3 hours long. Who would want to watch that, right? So if you guys have anything that I didn't mention in this video that could happen at Nintendo's E3 presentation, let me know in the comments below. And that's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys. Check back next week where I predict what Xbox will show off at their presentation. So be sure to subscribe to be notified when future videos, including the rest of the prediction series, will be released. Also, follow me on my Twitter account at TheManiacZach to be notified when future videos will be released, as well as some exclusive behind the scenes content of this channel and more. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in part 2 of the prediction series. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you want to check out the previous video I did on the top 5 things I want to see in a Breath of the Wild sequel, click on the right. And if you're from the future, click on the left to see the rest of the E3 prediction series. Alright guys, I gotta edit part 2, so I'll see you guys soon.